All right, let's dive in. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the tech that's trying to build a whole new kind of internet, what they call an integrity web. This is a world where being honest isn't just a promise, it's literally baked into the math. We're talking about StarkNet's scaling engine, a system that's been designed from the ground up to be provably, mathematically honest. And it all starts with a huge shift in how we think about trust.
This quote right here, it just nails it. For decades, we've had to trust companies based on this idea of don't be evil. But in the world of crypto and blockchain, the whole point is to build systems where being evil isn't even an option. It's a total shift from trusting people to trusting math.
So the big question is, what is this new kind of proof? And how in the world do you build an entire global economy on top of it? Well, that's the story we're going to unpack today, from a brilliant mathematical idea to a massive, functioning financial network.
Okay, so first things first. To really get the solution, we have to understand the problem. And it's a huge one. It's a challenge that every single blockchain, we're talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of them, have been wrestling with from the very beginning.
This is the central question. You want it all, right? You want a network that's basically unhackable, that's not controlled by any one company, and you want it to handle thousands of transactions a second, just like Visa. The problem is, it seems like you just can't have all three.
This conflict has a name, the scalability trilemma. A blockchain has to pick its poison. Ethereum, the king of smart contracts, made its choice. It went with security and decentralization. And honestly, that was probably the right call. But it left it pretty slow and super expensive to use. And that decision is what created this absolute necessity for so-called Layer 2 solutions, protocols built on top of Ethereum just to handle all the demand.
And this is where the hero of our story comes in. A revolutionary mathematical proof that tries to solve the trilemma once and for all. It's called a Stark proof, and it completely changes the game.
Now, before Starks, we had other zero-knowledge proofs you might have heard of called snarks. They were powerful, but they had this one kind of sketchy catch. To get the system started, a group of people had to do this secret one-time setup ceremony. The issue? This ceremony created these little cryptographic leftovers, what developers literally call toxic waste. And if just one of those people secretly held on to their piece of the secret, they could theoretically forge proofs and steal everybody's money. Kind of defeats the purpose of a trustless system, right?
This is where Starks are just a massive leap forward. See, the T in Stark, it stands for transparent. That means no secret ceremony, no trusted setup, and absolutely zero toxic waste. The whole thing is built on public, verifiable math that anyone can check. And, as if that wasn't enough, there's a huge bonus. Starks are built on hash functions which, and this is a big deal, are believed to be resistant to attacks from future quantum computers.
And you really can't overstate how important this is. Sure, quantum computers aren't here yet, but would you really want to build a multi-trillion-dollar financial system on something that could be cracked in a decade or two? No way. Starks are built for the long haul. They're designed to be secure today, tomorrow, and in that post-quantum future.
Okay, so you've got this incredible, powerful proof system. Awesome. But how do you actually get thousands of developers all over the world to use it? Well, you need a programming language. And for Starks, that language is called Cairo.
The evolution here was absolutely essential. The first version, Cairo 0, was, let's be honest, it was a beast to use. It was almost like writing an old-school assembly code. It was a tool for elite cryptographers, and that's about it. But then came Cairo 1.0, and it changed everything. By making it look and feel a lot like Rust, a super popular and safe language, it basically threw open the doors for developers everywhere to start building.
And baked right into Cairo is this really clever piece of tech called Sierra. Here's the problem it solves. What happens if a transaction fails? In older systems, a failed transaction was unprovable, so a hacker could just spam the network with transactions they knew would fail, clogging the system, and it wouldn't cost them anything. Sierra acts like a safety net. It guarantees that every single transaction, pass or fail, is provable. And that means attackers can't get a free ride. They have to pay for every attempt, which protects the entire network from these denial-of-service attacks. Super smart.
So, with all this amazing core tech in place, StarkWare brought it to the world with a brilliant two-pronged strategy, StarkEx and StarkNet.
First came StarkEx. You can think of this as their B2B engine. It was a custom, high-performance solution for the big guys. It powered massive projects like the DYDX exchange and the gaming platform Immutable X. It was like their software as a service offering. And then came StarkNet. This is the big one. The public, decentralized utility, more like the internet itself, where anyone can show up and build whatever they can dream up.
And the scale of StarkEx is, well, it's just staggering. Before StarkNet was even really a thing, StarkEx had already processed, get this, over $1.5 trillion in trading volume. This isn't just theory on a whiteboard. This stuff has been battle-tested at an immense scale.
And it's not just the dollar amount. StarkEx has executed over 1 billion transactions for its partners. That's 1 billion times the system had to work perfectly in a live, high-stakes environment. It proved this technology was the real deal.
But they didn't stop there. After proving the tech at scale, the team went right back to the drawing board to basically reinvent their own engine. And what came out of that was their next masterpiece, the S2 prover. S2 delivered a mind-bending 100-fold increase in efficiency, 100x. So how'd they do it? They completely redesigned the underlying math to be perfectly optimized for the kind of computer chips we all have in our laptops and phones. This wasn't just a small tweak, it was a true quantum leap in performance. And look, 100x improvement isn't just about making things faster. It unlocks entirely new possibilities that were basically science fiction before. Suddenly, you can generate a Stark proof directly on your phone in milliseconds. This enables things like verifiable AI or ZKID, where you can prove you're over 18 without ever revealing your actual birth date. This is where that can't be evil web really starts to feel real.
So with the technology reaching this incredible level of maturity, StarkNet set its sights on an even bigger prize, looking beyond Ethereum to the original blockchain itself.
The grand vision is to make StarkNet a settlement layer for Bitcoin. For years, Bitcoin has been seen as digital gold, something you just hold. This plan aims to make it a productive asset you can use in smart contracts, lending, and DeFi, all while inheriting Bitcoin's security. And this whole strategic move relies on a proposed Bitcoin upgrade called OP_CAT to create a fully trustless bridge between the two networks.
And this model just perfectly illustrates the symbiotic relationship. To secure the network, StarkNet plans to use a dual token design. 75% of the security will come from staked StarkNet tokens, STRK, and 25% will come from staked Bitcoin. This allows Bitcoin holders to put their assets to work securing the StarkNet execution layer and earn rewards, creating a really powerful economic flywheel.
So here's the bottom line. By combining the most secure and transparent proof system out there with the world's 2 largest blockchains, StarkNet is making a really bold play. It's not just aiming to be another layer 2. It's aiming to be the core execution engine for the entire integrity web. Which leaves us all wondering, could this be it?